Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Aussie StarCraft, bringing you the game you've all been waiting for. It is the decider in the best of 5 series between our red Zerg in the top right hand corner, e.g.'s Jaedong, the bottom left hand corner of this map. As our blue Protoss player, it is LiquidHero, so this is the final match. Both these players have won 2 games each to get us to this point, and now whichever player takes this game will progress into the grand finals for a chance to win $10,000 here at IEM Cologne. So we've had an absolutely cracking Protoss vs Zerg series. We've seen all sorts of shenanigans from both these players. Just remember, this is the series that started with a cannon rush, also contained a 6-pill, but then also had one of the longest games we've seen thus far in IEM Cologne, with a cracking 50-minute macro game in Game 4. So if you haven't seen those earlier games, you ought to check them out. They're all here on the channel. Just go and check the recently uploaded games, or just check some of the links that are in the video down below. So hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We've certainly had a blast. 2 of our favourite players competing here on Yonsu, so we'll see just how these 2 decide to open up, and hopefully we have as fantastic a game in Game 5 as we've enjoyed in the last couple of games. So I wonder just what sort of fans we have out there. Are people cheering for Jaedong or for Hero? Let us know in the comments down below, and we're always keen to know what the most popular players are. We know TLO is a big favourite here on the channel, as is Wellmoo. Wellmoo video is always very well received, along with Liquid TLO, and I know we have quite a few Hero fans out there as well. So always keen to know what pro players our fans enjoy the most, and we always like to seek out those replays wherever possible. Looks like Hero going for a fairly standard sort of opening here in Game 5, going to throw down his Gateway, and I would imagine his Cyber Core first. Indeed, there it goes. And I imagine we'll see an expansion after this, as that's the pattern Heroes tended to follow in the previous few games. Jaedong going for another very early 3-hatch opening. Spawning pool likely to follow this up momentarily. And looks like Jaedong is going to try and reproduce the success of last game. He did quite well with the greedy opening last game, able to make it work, particularly on the smaller maps. Jaedong using Swarm Host to great advantage in the last round. Just made life so difficult for Hero, who was playing incredibly well, but just unable to break through Jaedong's precisely executed defense. We'll see that we have a probe heading down to the low ground now, so I imagine this will be the nexus for the expansion. And we actually have Hero sending this Hero Zealot, Bob the Zealot, making his way towards Jaedong's base. He's going to be seen in all likelihood by this Overlord, and we actually saw this Zealot get picked off quite early in the previous game by Jaedong's earliest Zergling. So got to be careful when you're moving out with small groups of units, particularly Protoss against Zerg. You tend to lose those units and your advantage quite quickly. You've got to babysit them nice and heavily. And I think Heroes learned from that. Zealot's just going to be sitting here at the Zelnaga Tower, where it can't be surrounded and wiped out by early groups of Lings. 6 Lings now on the way for Jaedong, and a few Gateways actually coming down for LiquidHero. So very likely that Hero's planning to get aggressive nice and early on in this game. We have a sentry coming out to mine the front door, and Gateways 2 and 3 already on the way. So I'm wondering just what sort of aggression Hero is playing here. Ooh, 4th gate. Looks like we're going to have 4 gates off 2 bases for some very early pressure. Let's see how Hero decides to utilize this. We saw a very interesting early aggression last game from Hero, between the Mothership Core and some quite large warp-ins of early Zealots. Put a lot of pressure on Jaedong. Certainly burns a lot of lava when Protoss players elect to do this. Really forces them to use a large swell of lava in both Lings and replacing early drones that die. So it looks like Jaedong going to scout out across the map. Looks like he was able to clean that Zealot, but a lot of Zerglings taking damage to do so. Mothership Core actually gambling to take out a worker in the main mineral line. It's not often that you'll see Protoss try to do that with the Mothership Core. It does risk taking some damage, and you'll see Hero's Mothership Core has already taken a little bit of damage there, about half health, but it has already got 1 kill, so that's always nice. We do have a pylon warped in here. It looks like Hero's going to be trying to reproduce the early aggression from last game. We actually have the Lings making their way through and actually taking out the sentry, which is quite a nice pickup for Jaedong, forcing Hero to warp in another sentry here to try and hold the line. These Zealots here, quite a big threat. May not seem it. 4 Zealots might not seem like the most dangerous things, but Zerglings actually really struggle to wipe out Zealots, particularly in this sort of group. Nice time warp going down there is going to allow the Zealots to get the engagement they want, make it very difficult for the Zerglings to swarm and surround. But Jaedong managing to make his way around regardless. A few more Zealots warp in, but the remainder of this first warp in is going to get taken out. This Mothership Core doing serious work here, already up to 4 kills. Zealots able to clean up a lot more. Jaedong actually pulling another 22 Zerglings in, so Jaedong not taking any chances at all here. Definitely wants to secure this third base. Queen trying to go to town on the pylon and the Mothership Core, but as soon as this Mothership Core is taken out, we will see the end of this aggression, but unfortunately for Jaedong, the edge of the creep here is going to prevent the Queen from getting too close to this. Zealot's continuing to do a lot of work, but trading very evenly, which is a little bit surprising, but Jaedong clearly able to micro those lings, get a nice surround on the Zealot and force us back quite quickly. So it's actually quite rare that the Zerg will get a better cost efficiency in those sorts of engagements. I think just a little bit late on the warp in these last 2 Zealots. It really struggle to get them in before the Zerglings actually can surround and take them down. But the effect that we can't measure is actually the lava effect that this has had on Jaedong. If we check out the workers tab, it is actually almost dead even, 38, 40 odd workers for each of our players. And there's actually almost no lava in play. If we check the hatcheries, there's about 3 lava on each hatch, and Jaedong's had to spend a lot of those to try and actually hold back this early Zealot aggression. So nice choice from here. It's burnt up a lot of the lava, meant that even though Jaedong went to 3 bases quite quickly, wasn't able to really make the most of it. He was most of that early lava production was unfortunately funneled into lings to try and keep the Zealots off the third base, but Jaedong now powering the workers quite hard. We see up to 51 workers and quickly going to grab that economic lead. Hero is already saturated on both bases. We've seen a cessation in production of those drones. That's quite natural until he takes a third base, and looks like Hero actually forming up for some sort of Sentry Immortal timing here. So we have two Immortals already in play, and a lot of Sentries actually warp in behind this. Warp Prism being produced by the Robotics Factory. Love this for the warp ins and for the Immortal microing them back and forth into the Warp Prism makes it very hard to actually kill the Immortals, particularly with early Zerg unit compositions. Tend to be lots of Zerglings and Roaches. Makes it quite tough to actually kill units that are stored in a Warp Prism. So we did see some crazy Warp Prism micro out of Hero in the past game, so I'm wondering if we'll see a little bit more of that this game, and just see how this push actually goes down for Jaedong. We've seen Jaedong hold off some rather devastating attacks in this series. We have a lot of roaches on the way, quite a few roaches already out in the middle of the map, another 8 on the way, along with roach speed almost finished up here, but Hero able to take the high ground advantage here. Question is, will Jaedong have enough units in time? And if we check out the units roster, it's two Immortals, 4 Stalkers, and 10 Sentries. That's a heck of a lot of force fields versus what's 23 Roaches and 13 Zerglings. A few more Zerglings on the way, along with a few more Roaches, and Jaedong going for an epic surround here. Mothership Core going to throw down a nice time warp there, and nice force field. It's actually going to pin all 8 of these Roaches, and it's quite bad for Jaedong. I'm surprised that Jaedong's not going for the Sentries. There's just so much force field energy here, and trying to kill those Immortals, but unfortunately Hero just on top of the micro today. He's got the Immortal in and out of the Warp Prism. Already got 9 kills on this Immortal and half a dozen on the other, so these Immortals just going to town today. We'll keep them selected to just see how they go. We have 12 kills on the Immortal. He's Mr. Instructor actually. Instructor at killing roaches apparently. As Hero just continues to do a lot of damages, but massive morphins from Jaedong, continuing to flood these roaches and Zerglings. Really needs to be able to get a surround, but LiquidHero is just positioned very well here on the high ground. The creeps now are receding, and it's actually quite difficult for Jaedong to get the sort of surround he needs to take this force out. Continuing to warp in more Sentries and Zealots. Looks like this Protoss Assault isn't going to lose any steam. We see that Hero's throwing down quite a few extra gateways here and actually moving on to the creep. This is a pretty bold choice. We see Jaedong has units behind Hero, also has a massive amount of units in front, potentially going to be completely surrounded here. Mothership Core actually looks like it's gone down. It's no longer with the army, So I imagine we'll see that being reproduced momentarily. Yeah, in fact it did go down earlier. These Immortals just continuing to go to town here. 21 kills on this Immortal. That's just phenomenal. This Sentry unfortunately is going to get picked off there at the back of the line. But Heroes Immortals just continuing to do so much work here. 16 kills, 22 kills. That's almost 40 kills between these two Immortals, and we see that cost efficiency that was earlier quite in Jaedong's favour actually starting to slide against him now. We have Overlords trying to produce a creep highway so the reinforcements can continue to stream here. A few Zerglings making their way around, but the Immortals just continually microed to a better position. Jaedong over and over with these 20 kills on the second Immortal, 25 on the first. Going to get that micro that Immortal back into the Warp Prism, drop it back where it's a lot safer. 25 kills now, 23 up to 50, so these are more Immortals almost at a half century here, which is pretty impressive. I don't think you have that expression in the States, perhaps. Bit of a cricket scoring expression. Actually have Jaedong being forced to pull his workers here to try and hold this off. Roaches getting on top of the force. Immortals still alive, up onto the high ground, into Jaedong's base here in an attempt to keep them alive. Both Immortals actually making their way up to 30. Few Zerglings trying to make their way up. Unfortunately unable to do so. The Immortals just staying strong here. Back into the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism's almost down. The Queen's doing a lot of damage to the Warp Prism. Can Hero keep it alive? Gonna have to try and outrun these Queens here as they move to cut off the Warp Prism. So close. It's 12 health. There's Immortals here with almost 60 kills worth of damage in them, just making a break for it in a 12 HP Warp Prism. So that pilot, he's seen a few things in his day, but not going to take his eyes off the road. Going to continue to keep these Warp Prisms in the fight. Just absolutely fearless here, dropping them here. Going to warp in some more units to keep the pressure on. But looks like Hero's going to have to try and hold with these few Zealots and Immortal that are still actually at home, and a little bit more of a warp in here would help. But Hero just getting ready to counter-attack here with these superhero Immortals. Have the Zealots going to town here. Can he actually catch these Roaches? Nice force fields going down there. Going to clean up a few of these Roaches. The other Roaches trying to dive for the Immortal, and in fact does look like they'll get him. 2 shots, 3 shots, fourth shot will take it down. So nice micro from Jaedong on those Roaches. Does take out an Immortal. Every one of those clearly that he can take out. All the more power to him. These 2 mammoth Immortals up here with 60 kills, obviously showing us just how dangerous an Immortal or 2 can be. And looks like Hero's just unrelenting, already on the counter-attack here. Zergling's trying to get this around, but Hero knows where it's at. Back into the Warp Prism with these 2 Immortals, and these Zealots just continuing to try and tank a little bit of damage. I think this may be it for Hero. May need to pull back here. We're starting to see Hydras on the field, and Hydras do just provide so much of the DPS needed to deal with things like these Immortals. We have a grand total of 4 Immortals on the field now, including our 2 Hero Immortals. And looks like Hero just plans to end it here and now. So this push just going on and on and on. We're up to almost 70 kills. This is some of the craziest cost efficiency I think I've ever seen on an Immortal. I've seen some pretty impressive Colossi kill counts, but for an Immortal I think this is singularly impressive. I think it's about the highest I've ever seen. We have it up to 36 kills now, so just absolutely phenomenal. What control from Hero. I think it's single-handedly providing him the edge in this game. So we'll see if Hero can keep it up. I thought his Warp Prism play was impressive last game. Unfortunately wasn't able to make it work against the vast army of Swarm Hosts and Corruptors that Jaedong had, but we'll see if it's enough this time. I really fear for the damage that these Hydralisks are doing. Indeed, the Mothership Core goes down so quickly, and these Immortals just continue to try and plug away here. Looks like we may just be able to make it through. Hero going to be strolling into the third base of Jaedong. Really wants to try and put some pressure on it. After all, Hero is still only on 2 base. If we check out his mineral patch, we do see they are starting to mine their way down. Main base almost completely mined out. So Hero needs to either make this work or expand very soon. And but continuing to rack him in. 40 kills on this Immortal. Hydra is trying to go to town. They're actually close enough that if they focused fired these Immortals, they could take them out. Unfortunately, you can see just how dispersed the firing was on these Immortals. Looks like the first Hero Immortal does go down. The second Immortal still packing 45 kills. Can he make it to 50? I have a sneaky suspicion that he might. Hero just being super careful with this Warp Prism, and Jaedong just really struggling to make it count here. It looks like Hero's managed to siege his third base. Jaedong unable to get a surround on these units to make it work. A few roaches trying to make their way around. Looks like they'll clean out that probe. Actually going to clean up some of the reinforcing pylons, but the third base will go down. And this little force from Hero, the heroes of this battle, no pun intended, just absolutely soldiering through Jaedong's ranks, and Zerg just struggling to find an answer to this. The Swarm host provided it last game, but this game, unfortunately, just nothing managing to take out this Immortal. Every time its shields get depleted, Hero manages to pop it into the Warp Prism, back up and down. Nice micro, takes it to 49 kills, but even the probes pulled off the line now that Hero's mined out his main base. The probes even join in the fight, going to tank a few volleys for our Hero Immortal as he continues to make his way. How often do you see probes attacking spine crawlers? I don't think it's every day, and that just shows what a crazy series this has been. Both our players just throwing everything they've got at it and hoping that throwing everything they can at the wall and just hoping something will stick, and stick it has. Is Immortal up to 51 kills. Jaedong trying to muster the last remnants of defense. He also only on one mining base. Nice position on the low ground. Force field's making sure that only a few units can engage at a time. Hero Immortal up to 52 kills, almost actually getting sniped from behind, but looks like Hero able to pick that off just in time, and these Hydras forced to run for their life as the Stalkers and Immortals just barrel down on them like a freight train. And unfortunately there goes the Hydralisk, and Mr. Roach is just going to have to make a break for it. Unfortunately, pretty hard to outrun the Stalkers with their no blink technology this time, but they're quite high movement speed. They where is it? They move at 2.95, so pretty quick. Not as quick as a Roach on speed, as you can see. They're just over 3, and yeah, but definitely quicker than a Hydralisk off creep. If we check out where is our friend the Hero Immortal, 54 kills. I wonder just how, anyone that wants to take a bet in the comments down below, throw it down before this video ends. How many kills will this Immortal end up with? Is it 54 currently? Place your bets, we'll see who's the closest, and whoever wins will get my respect. And yeah, I'd love to offer a nicer prize than that, but let's see who gets the closest. We're at 54 currently, and looks like Hero is showing no signs of letting this Immortal lie anytime soon, though certainly without the Warp Prism going to be just a little bit harder to try and keep it alive. Up to 56 kills here. The Hydralisk from the high ground trying to be a hero. Mothership Core almost goes down, but continues to stay alive with 45 kills. The Immortal up to 58 now. Bundle of Roaches focusing down his friend, but Hero Immortal going up to 59 kills, and it looks like Jaedong here starting to lose momentum. 62 kills, 63 kills on the Immortal. This is just absolutely insane. This Immortal, I think, has single-handedly won it for LiquidHero. It's going to carry LiquidHero's tournament hopes all the way through to the final. Jaedong now on a completely mined out main base, has virtually no units left on the map. I don't think Jaedong can believe it. He's still in the game, but with 63 kills, I think it's all over Red Rover. Only a few drones left in production. Jaedong producing a last solitary Roach, but unfortunately for our hero Jaedong, it is going to end here, and LiquidHero is going to progress to the finals and verse, well, we'll see who he's versing. We will cast the other semi-final series immediately after this, and there it is. Jaedong GG's out of that game. Our Hero Immortal actually on 66 kills, and what a match. Only 26 minutes long, but the Hero managing to get 66 kills. That's 2 kills a minute for the entirety of the game. Absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. If you did, and it's your first time here on the channel, by all means please subscribe. We'd love to see you here in the future. And if you're a regular here on the channel, we thank you for your support. It is awesome. We have quite a great community here at Aussie StarCraft. Hope you'll take the time to share some of these videos with your friends and get them involved in the action. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you all in the next cast. Thanks, guys.